Welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and this is part 2 of my stamp organization video. So I've had these organized for just a few days, and I haven't put all of the labels on them yet, and I think that I'm going to work through like organizing the stamps in these bins now. And I've got my extra labels here, or my these were the comic book dividers, and I'm using those to actually label the stamps and organize them into sections or into categories. And I made some in the first video, and I'm going to move some things around and add to it. So here is my second bin, and I am looking through this real quick, and I am thinking, look, I've got tons of sentiments in here, so I want to go ahead and pull out my sentiments. Now I have some faith-based stamps, and I'm going to keep those separate. I do want those separate, so I'm just going to pull out, see, sentiments. I've got a lot of background stamps. I'll put thank you with sentiments. It's nice now, see, to have all of these with the white backing so that they're easily seen. Like I can see everything that's on them. They're very easy to flip through now. It's much nicer. And sentiments. Sentiments. So this one, and this is something else that I'm wondering, because the one thing that I have not done is picked up any little colored dots that I would be able to indicate whether or not I had a matching die or a coordinating die for that stamp. But this one has an actual punch that goes with it, like a punch. And so I may have to get two separate dots so that I know if it's got a coordinating punch or a coordinating die. So then I'll know the difference. A lot of these. Okay, those are tags, so I won't put that there. And then background stamps. So I think background stamps, there's a lot of background stamps in this section. So I think I'm going to do background stamps in here. All right, these to me would all be background stamps. I would use them in backgrounds, but they're more of like a mixed media type. So I might have a mixed media section. Let me think about that. Let me put those aside and see how many I actually come up with that I think I might use for a mixed media. Okay, I don't think there were any other backgrounds in that, but I'm going to go ahead and pull out my sentiments and start stacking those here. So sentiments, and I just pulled it out of here and didn't grab the actual sentiments that might have been stamps that might have been behind it. Yay me. It's kind of just the way I work. Maybe I didn't have any because I am not seeing them. Oh, here it is. There's the sentiments. That was that little typewriter set. Okay. So then we've got sentiments in the front, backgrounds in the back. And let's pull out my second bin of, actually this is the fourth. This is the fourth. We organized 2 in the first one, and now I've got 4. Oh goodness. This is a lot. It's a lot. Looking for my sentiments. Here we go. Sentiments. Sentiments. And again, going through this and organizing it, I thought, what can I give up? And I still, sentiments and sentiments. Here we go. We've hit the mother lode here. Okay, these are faith-based. Let's set those aside. Some more faith-based sentiments. Those are sentiments. Those are my Alice in Wonderland specifically. Here's some sentiments. I love these. These are great for like little tags and stuff. Okay, that's sentiments. I'm going to put these under sentiments and this one too, because I love using these for more than just like the little puns on them. These guys, I'll put under sentiments. This one definitely, and this one. Here we go. On my Harlequin stamp, so that goes in backgrounds. I'll put that in the back. I think that was it. Oh, no. Sentiments. Okay. And I've covered everything up that I was working on. Okay. I'm going to make another one for sentiments, but these are going to be my faith-based sentiments. I need to take my Alice out. And then there we go. And then I need one for backgrounds. So let me label backgrounds, and there we go. All right, and then I've got Alice in Wonderland back here. Okay, so I've got Alice in Wonderland, Unity Stamps, Patriotic, Masculine, Valentine's, Coffee and Tea, Chocolate, Spring, Easter, Critters, Flowers, and then I had some of these miscellaneous. I'll pull these miscellaneous stamps out because I wasn't sure how I was going to work those in yet. All right, so those are the categories there, and I've got sentiments, faith-based sentiments, backgrounds. These I still need to organize. And then in this other, I have winter, Christmas, specifically my religious Christmas stamps, Twilight stamps, which are these guys. I do. I have some Twilight stamps and I wanted to keep them separate. I didn't want to put them in Halloween, so I've got a Bella and an Edward. And then I also have some little stamps somewhere. I saw them a minute ago. Those are specifically my Twilight stamps. So I have Halloween and also autumn / Thanksgiving. That's over here to the side. Okay, let me see. I think that I have a lot of coffee and tea. I think I'm going to move them over here. I have a lot of people. I know that. So I'm going to label one as people. I'll put it here and go ahead and start that section. So here would be my people section. I had this stamp made from some free clip art. It was so cute. I've got a lot of steampunk. Got some of these Art Nouveau. Here's some Alice. You put that over there. So people. Trying to let you guys get a peek at some of the stuff that I have. I like looking and seeing what people have in their stamp collections. And this is, oh my goodness, this is years and years and years and years and years of collecting stamps. So I've got some old ones in here. All right, Halloween and Halloween. Oof, this one is getting tight. I may have to start pulling some stuff out. It's my people. Goodness. All right, I think that this goes under winter. Yep, that's not going to fit anymore, so I'm going to have to figure out something else. I will have to end up moving some of those around. I think I'm going to put this rainbow one under sentiments. Here's a coffee. People to the back. So when I was doing this, I realized, so I don't have a whole lot of room to grow. This will be sentiments. Coffee. Here's my Alfred Hitchcock. It's Halloween. Then I don't know what to do with stamps like this that are kind of like collage stamps. Maybe I could just put them under collage. I don't know. because it's kind of what this one is too back here. Like these are really kind of collage stamps. So maybe I'll just make a different label for those, because that's kind of when I'm looking for something like that, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I guess I'll put him under Critters. I used him for Alice in Wonderland, but he's not specifically Alice in Wonderland. So I'll put him under Critters. I know that this is a peacock feather, but this is so off. And if I'm looking for something like peacock related, I would probably look under Critters. So look at him stamped. Isn't that adorable? It was in a little grab bag from Unity Stamps, and they sent it to me, and he's too cute. He is too cute. So I did put those under Critters. Oh, here is my Twilight. So my vampire can beat your werewolf, and my werewolf can beat your vampire. I have a little paper bag journal that I started like forever ago when Twilight was still like a big thing and the movies were coming out, and I never finished it, and I need to. So I do have my Twilight stamps. All right, floral, see, collage. I know I had a floral. Didn't I have a floral? Flowers. There we go. Flowers right up here. Some more flowers. Oh, and I have one specifically steampunk. Oh, and then I realized this when I was actually stamping this out, because a lot of these I had to stamp the images out. So I was putting these on here and I was like, oh, those kind of look like ruby slippers. I bet I could do that. And this whole thing is ruby slippers. So it's steampunk, but it's how to steampunk your shoes. And then it says, then close your eyes and tap your heels together and 3 times and think of yourself, there's no place like home. Think to yourself, there's no place like home. It says, Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Click your heels. And what good are ruby slippers if you never put them on? So it's actually Alice in Wonderland. I mean, not Alice in Wonderland. It's actually Wizard of Oz steampunk. And I had no idea when I bought them. They were just, it was steampunk, and I like steampunk. So now I have an idea for another journal. Yay. All right, steampunk. Yeah, I don't know. This is Happy Birthday. So I'll put that under sentiments. I have a whole section of stuff that I think is kind of country, like this guy. And I have this country living. And I kind of think that those are just country. There's my angel. I'm going to put that, I know it's not, I'm going to put that under my faith-based. I may change sentiments to just faith-based. I'm going to put this under sentiments, even though it's got those florals at the top. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put all of these under like a mixed media, because I have some of these and I use these for kind of like mark making. So let me go ahead and put a country section and mixed media, and that way I can start filing some of these away, and then if they don't work for me, and there we go. I'm really excited about a lot of these stamps that I'm coming across that I hadn't seen in a little while. Like I knew I had them, but I hadn't seen them in a little while. And maybe I should start doing a challenge where, you know, you pull out your stamp set and just create something. Would you guys be interested in something like that? Just curious. This is my spring. This goes in my spring section. So spring and Easter. That one's a cute little, I'm actually using that one right now. Not sure why I have it in there. I'll put these in my mixed media. These are all those Dylusion stamps. That's a good place for them. They're all mark makers and stuff. I have one that's postage. So let me start pulling together some of my postage. It's like postage and tags. I'm going to put all of that together, like all these little guys. Things that I would use to make little tags with. That's mosaics. This is florals. I hope you guys can see these. Hopefully my belly isn't in the way like in the last video, which I realized later. More flowers, more flowers. Running out of room. All right, so these would be like the tags. Here's postage. Where would I put? It's postage. Okay, florals. This would be my mixed media. Be my Tim Holtz. These are my donuts. I'm going to put these with coffee though. It's got a coffee cup on it. Makes sense to me. Oh, coffee and tea. These are my mark makers. I'm going to put those back there. That's a nice background stamp. I'm going to put that back there. All right, look, we're getting down to it. Florals. I've got to move my florals out though because they are too full in this guy. Okay, let that one breathe. Okay, so I'm going to do one that says postage and tags. And I might refine these categories later, but now I'm getting them into sections, and that's the important part. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stick that under the tags. These are my Tim Holtz. So it's got some postage. These are all my Tim Holtz right here. This is Stampin' Up. I'm going to put this guy here. My bugs. I'm going to put that under mixed media because that's kind of where I would use that. There's postage. There's mixed media. All right. So here's my Girl Power. These are some Jenny Doe stamps, and they are just the cutest. I've had this collection forever, and I love using this. And then I've got these books, and I kind of feel like I would look for these. So I have a masculine. I think I'm going to have just kind of a feminine section. I have a book club right now, and it's all my sisters. So I'm thinking, anytime I think book club, that's what I'm thinking. It's feminine. It's feminine. All right. So these Apothecary. I'm going to put these under tags because they've got these nice little labels here. So for now, that's where it's going. Where am I putting these Tim Holtz? I think I'm going to put these and this under sentiments. I'm going to put this under mixed media. I am going to put circus under critters. Perfect. See? Okay. And then this bunny, I absolutely love him, and I used him for my Alice in Wonderland too, but this actually is supposed to say Easter Bunny in German, I believe. So like wanted Easter Bunny. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in the spring and Easter because, you know. Okay. And then this bin was really tight. So what can I move? Let me see if I can go ahead and move my Twilight stamps over here to the front of this so I can work in this winter stamp set. And then this one goes in Halloween. Listen, I can't, this one is full, so I can't get any more of, what is this? Autumn, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, Christmas Religious, and Winter stamps. There's no more for that. Okay, so then I need to create a label for this. This is feminine. Look, I have no room for growth. So if I get more stamps, I will have to purge. So, but you know, honestly, this is a solid stamp collection. I really shouldn't need more stamps than this, right? I really shouldn't. I should have everything that I need right here in the stamp set. And so one thing that I forgot to mention the last time though, is this. I also have some larger stamps, and I went ahead and organized those as well. So I have my Tim Holtz. So these are just larger stamp sets. So I have some Tim Holtz here that I labeled Tim Holtz and put in here. But I also have some Christmas, and these all happen to be Tim Holtz on this Christmas. But I had to label it Christmas because I don't automatically think Tim Holtz and Christmas. I'd have to see the Christmas. So if I'm looking for Christmas. I'm going to definitely look Christmas labels. So, and then Halloween, again with my Tim Holtz. And then I have this random Altenew. It's so pretty. I really love this, but I don't know where else to put it in this particular bin. And then my scrapbook.com. And then I did put, so like this is Tim Holtz, but this is Sentiments, same here. And then some of these old stamps. I love these for journals. And then these are a lot of stamps I have. These are stamps that I use mainly for like the insides of my cards, like the sentiments on the inside. And then I've got these guys here. So these combined with what I've got over there, oh my gosh. All right, and these are my butterflies and moths. And then over here again, I've still got more coffee. I told you I had a lot of coffee, just a ridiculous amount. Oh, my Sizzix. So I put these under here, but I should move these to Christmas. This should be Christmas. And then you know what? I'm going to move these to floral, and then I'm not going to have a Sizzix section. So I'm going to get rid of Sizzix, and then this will go on my florals, which is where I put all of these guys. Why did I put those in florals? I have no idea. Okay. And then Stamp Market. So my florals. And then my mixed media section back here. So a lot of these that I would use for like background stamps and things. And these stamp sets were just too large to fit in those smaller bags, so I've put them here. And then this is another postage, but look at how big this is. So I don't have a bag for it. It sits by itself, and this one as well from All and Create. It's just too large. So those sit at the back here. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. And then this one, I think this is Dinah Wakely. I'm going to put it back here in mixed media. I think that might have been where it was going. So there you go. That's it. I'm done. I've organized my stamps. They're all kind of uniform, and they're in these bins, and they're nice and organized. I do have a couple more stamp sets that are too large to fit even in these. So I do have these close to my heart alpha sets that I keep. And then that one's a rustic alpha. And then I have these Iron Orchid designs, these huge 12 by 12s. So that one's Christmas. That one is also like a winter, stay cozy sweater weather. It's got coffee, cider looking stuff. And then my snowmen. So these are all stamps that I have to keep even aside from these. So there you go. That's it. That's my stamp. Well, I lie. That's not my full stamp collection. I also still have a little bit of wood mounted stamps. I do have a small section of those. So I do have a drawer off to the side where I've got just another set of stamps, and these are these are still some of my wood mounted that I haven't converted. Like these I haven't put onto the cling foam yet. So those would go into, we'll end up getting worked into that section once I get them on the cling foam. I've got these. I actually use this one a lot. I don't use this one, so that one can probably go. See, look at the Christmas stamps. That can go. I don't need that little Santa hat. I think I've got one. But like these little sets. And then a Twilight set. Yeah, I have a Twilight set. Don't judge me. What is this one? It's just little symbols and stuff. I like using it for mark making. I love these guys. I love making very simple cards out of these. I might do something with that. I love these little faces. Plus I have these little pumpkins. I converted them, but I hadn't converted the faces yet, so they're there. I like the Dear Santa stamp, World Traveler. So see, I still have some of my old cases, but then here are just some of the, you know, wood block stamps that I just still like, that I didn't want to remove from their blocks. I love these guys. Denied, Banned, Rejected. So From the Heart. Just And then this one is like a whole anatomy set, which I've got the whole thing, but I really like it for the anatomically correct heart and the skull. So there we go. That is it. I don't even know how I had these in here. So that is them. That is my stamp collection in all its glory. I don't know how I had this, and I've got to put it back. And then I've got one of these guys for dates. Oh, look, and I've got a leaf. You know what? I've got a ton of these. I don't need this. Look, I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm also going to get rid of the From the Heart because I've got a lot of stamps like that. This has got me thinking here. I probably, honestly, don't need these guys because I've got all those clear stamps that had all of that postage on it. So I probably don't need those guys. I am going to keep this because I don't know that I have some of those. But there we go. Look, I freed up space. All right. There we go. However this is situated. Watch me not be able to put it back. You know, and I was hoping to make room for these guys, but I just don't know that I'm going to, you know, that I'm able to. But I can get rid of this. Look at me purging. No. But I might be able to move these guys over here. Fit in there? Yes. Okay, I purchased these a while back, and I've just had them sitting, you know, when I was working on my Alice in Wonderland stuff, they were out, so I hadn't worked them into anything, but they're these little stamp sets here. These are really cute. You know what these would be cute? Okay, so idea that this is random, but a 10, and it holds a mini Alice journal, and I could take these out and I could repurpose the 10s to hold these mini Alice journals, and then these can just get worked in here and be loose. And you put that in my idea book. See, they just come to me like that, right? So along with the wood blocks that I got rid of there, these are the only stamps that I got rid of when I was going through my my cling stamps. So anyway, I think that another purge will probably be coming soon. I need to really start using a lot of my stamps and working through that process of either keeping them or getting them out, purging what I don't need. Because like I said, you saw how many different types of postage stamps I had, and yet I'm holding on to these guys. And I should really just pass them on and let someone else enjoy them. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pass these guys on too, because you saw how much Christmas stuff I have. And although I used this in the past, I think that I've got some stamps now that have a really nice Merry Christmas sentiment. And I'm good. I should be good. Okay, there we go. That's it. So I'm getting rid of these, keeping these, and I've got my stuff set up. So the only thing that I've got to do now with these stamps is just let them sit for a while. Just let them sit and, you know, use them. And then I'll commit to some categories. I might move some things around, commit to some categories, and then I'll actually go in and label them permanently with my label maker. But that'll be much further down the road. You guys don't need to see that, but I feel good having all of my stamps organized, so I know what I have for sure, because I've been through everything, and I for sure do not need any additional stamp sets. And if I do bring any in, I will have to let some go. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, just put them down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer. And until next time, bye.